So guys, I'm gonna tell you about the object literal in JavaScript. So what is the object literal, right? So like object literal, and object literal is a way to create and define object in JavaScript using a concise and straightforward syntax. It allows you to declare and initialize an object in a single statement, right? So this is all about object literal. And I just downside is I wrote object literal syntax. Let object name property value 1, property name 2, property value 2, hash additional properties. I just wrote down after that object literal example is right, similar to syntax, right? So you can understand better. Let person equal to name John, age 30, city New York, right? So come to the explanation part. Let person declare a variable named person, right? That will hold the object. Object is defined using curly bracket. This is a curly bracket, right? Inside the curly brackets, you define properties and their value using the syntax property name and property value, right? Inside the name, inside the curly braces, you define properties and their value using the syntax property name and property value. Property name and property value, right? Property name and property value. So, property and values are separated by commas. Properties and values separated by commas, right? In the example, name, age, and city. Name, age, and city are property of the person object, and John 30 and New York are their respective values. Come to the accessing values, accessing object literal properties, right? You can see the syntax console.log, person.name, output John, square bracket notation, console.log, person name, output John, right? Come to the explanation part, right? Each notation are used to access the value of the name property in the person object. Dot notation is more common and concise, while square bracket notation is useful when the property name is dynamic or contain special character. Modifying object literal properties. Now to come to the right side. Okay. Person.age 31, console.log person age output 31. Right. There is a syntax, right? So what is the meaning? What's actually happening in the modifying object literal properties syntax? You can modify the value of a property by assigning a new value to it. In the example, the age property of the person object is updated to 31, right? Now come to the adding new properties, literal and object literal methods, right? Adding new properties. Person.job is equal to engineer, person.log, person.job. Output is engineers, right? And adding new properties, right? So you can add new properties to an object by using syntax object name dot new property is equal to values, right? You can use this in the object new property. What? Object name dot or new property is equal to value. So in this example, the job property is added to the person object. Okay, so come to the object literal methods. Let calculator add function a comma b return a plus b, subtract function a comma b return a minus b. Add and subtract are method. First I'm going to explain you add and subtract are method are calculators objects. Methods are function associated with a function. They can perform action or calculation based on the object data, right? So object like a literal provide a convenient way to create object with properties and method in a clear and concise manner. They are commonly used for simple data structure and encapsulation, right? Related functionality. That is all about object literal method, man. Guys, so this is object literal in JavaScript.